Most people wake up and immediately rush into the world. Before their eyes are even fully open, their mind is already running. Notifications, responsibilities, problems, tasks, messages. Everything starts attacking the mind the moment the day begins. And because we begin our day in chaos, the entire day follows the same pattern. But imagine this. What if instead of beginning the day with noise, we began with stillness? What if the first thing we gifted ourselves every morning was not stress, but silence? For just 5 minutes, not 50, not even 15, just 5 minutes of complete, intentional, peaceful silence. It may sound simple, but my dear friends, sometimes the simplest things are the most transformative. When you wake up and sit in silence, you are telling your mind, I am in control, not the world. You are reminding yourself that life should happen from the inside out, not the outside in. In those quiet moments, something magical begins to happen. The mind slows down, the heart opens. The anxiety that lived inside you through the night starts dissolving. You begin to feel grounded, centered, stable. Silence is not empty. Silence is full of answers. In silence, we can hear the truths that get drowned in everyday noise. We begin to understand what truly matters, what doesn't, and what we must give our energy to. And most importantly, silence brings clarity, and clarity is power. These 5 minutes are like resetting your internal system. Imagine if your phone was overloaded, you would restart it, right? Silence is your restart button. It refreshes your emotional and mental software. It allows you to begin the day with a clean, calm, composed mind instead of starting with yesterday's stress or tomorrow's anxiety. Many people ask, how do I sit in silence? What do I do in those moments? The answer is simple: nothing. Just sit. Close your eyes gently. Allow your breath to flow naturally. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. Let your thoughts come and go without chasing them. Silence is not about stopping your thoughts. It's about not holding them. Just let them pass like clouds floating across the sky. Even if your mind wanders, it's okay. Minds wander. That's what minds do. The purpose is not perfection. The purpose is presence. In these 5 minutes, you are practicing mastery over your own attention. And attention is the most valuable currency of the modern world. Everyone wants it, everything demands it, and if you don't control it, you lose yourself. But when you begin your morning with silence, you reclaim your attention. You train your mind to listen to you, not the world. You cultivate inner discipline without forcing it. Now, think about how most people start their day with social media. The moment they open their eyes, they give their mind to the world. They pick up their phone and absorb hundreds of voices, images, opinions, and emotions even before understanding their own. They begin the day in comparison, in distraction, in overstimulation, and then they wonder why they feel restless all day. Silence is the antidote to this chaos. Silence reconnects you with yourself before the world tries to define you. When you begin your day by listening to yourself instead of listening to the world, you are telling your mind that your peace comes first. And that simple act changes everything. During these silent moments, you may begin to notice things you usually ignore: the sound of your breath, the beating of your heart, the feeling of gratitude, the warmth of life within you. You begin to feel alive, present, grounded. You begin to realize that peace was always inside you. You just never paused long enough to feel it. And slowly, something beautiful begins to happen. The chaos of the world feels less overwhelming. Challenges feel more manageable. You become more patient, more compassionate, more balanced. Your reactions become responses. Your emotions become measured. Your thoughts become clearer. In just 5 minutes a day, your entire outlook shifts. Some people say, 5 minutes won't change my life. But let me tell you, 5 minutes done daily is more powerful than 1 hour done once a year. Tiny habits create giant transformations. A small seed grows into a massive tree. A small drop becomes an ocean. A small moment of silence daily becomes a life of calmness. Silence is a teacher. It teaches you self-awareness. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you emotional balance. It teaches you patience. And above all, it teaches you that peace is not found in the world. It is created within you. If you practice this for the next 15 days, I promise you will begin to feel a shift. You will feel less reactive, more peaceful, and more present. You will begin your day with a mind that is clear, stable, and ready to face whatever comes your way. These 5 minutes will become your anchor, your grounding point, your spiritual reset. Make this a gift you give yourself every single morning. 5 minutes of silence, no phone, no noise, no distractions, just you and your inner world. Because when the inside is calm, the outside automatically becomes easier to handle. And when you learn to master the morning, you begin to master your life. Every morning, your mind wakes up with hundreds of thoughts. Some are important, many are unnecessary, and most of them pull you in different directions. And when the mind is scattered, the day becomes scattered. When the mind is confused, the actions become confused. That is why so many people end their day feeling tired but unproductive, busy but not effective, active but not impactful. It's not that they didn't work hard, it's that they didn't work with clarity. This is where the simple practice of writing down just 3 priorities every morning becomes life-changing. Not 20 tasks, not a long to-do list, just 3 things that genuinely matter, 3 things that move your life forward, 3 things that align with your purpose, your responsibilities, and your growth. When you identify these 3 priorities, you give your mind structure, you give your day direction, you give your energy a clear destination. Most people don't struggle with effort, they struggle with focus. They have the willingness, the ability, the motivation, but they don't have clarity. And clarity, my dear friends, is the foundation of productivity. A clear mind is a powerful mind, and a clear plan is a successful plan. And when you begin your morning by defining your 3 priorities, you create a blueprint for success before the world distracts you. Writing your priorities is not about creating pressure. It is about creating intention. It is a gentle reminder of what truly matters today. It is a commitment to yourself that you will not allow distraction, procrastination, or stress to steal your day. It is a conscious declaration that you will live deliberately, not accidentally. When you write these 3 priorities, something magical happens. Your mind becomes lighter. Instead of worrying about 100 things, your brain knows, these 3 are my targets. You begin to feel more organized internally, even if your external situation is chaotic. You feel a sense of direction, a sense of purpose, a sense of control. And control over your day gives you confidence. Confidence that you can shape your life rather than merely react to it. These three priorities do not always have to be big achievements. They can be simple, practical, meaningful tasks. Sometimes a priority is finishing an important work project. Sometimes it is spending quality time with family. Sometimes it is taking care of your health. Sometimes it is learning something new. The size of the task doesn't matter. Its importance does. The mind loves clarity. When you write your three priorities, the mind locks onto them, and throughout the day, even when distractions come, and they will come, your mind gently pulls you back to what you committed to in the morning. This inner alignment makes you more intentional with your time. You say fewer careless yeses. You waste fewer hours. You catch yourself quicker when you drift. You remain anchored. Without written priorities, the day becomes like a boat without a rudder. It will float, but not necessarily in the right direction. It may move, but not necessarily where you want to go. It may be active, but not purposeful. And this is why so many people feel stuck. Not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they lack daily direction. When you write your three priorities every morning, it's like drawing a map for your day. And every decision you make afterward becomes easier. You know what to focus on. You know what to delay. You know what doesn't deserve your attention. You begin to choose your actions more wisely. Another beautiful thing happens when you practice this consistently. Your self-respect increases. Each time you complete your three priorities, even if nothing else gets done, you feel a deep satisfaction. You end your day with a sense of achievement rather than regret. You feel progress. And progress is one of the greatest sources of happiness. Many people underestimate the power of writing things down, but the act of writing creates commitment. Writing transforms thoughts into intentions, intentions into goals, and goals into results. A thought is fragile, it can disappear. A written priority is strong, it stays. It becomes a promise to yourself. Some mornings you may feel demotivated. Some days you may feel emotionally drained. Some days may feel overwhelming. But if you sit down and write three priorities, even on your weakest days, you bring yourself back to alignment. You bring yourself back to purpose. You bring yourself back to discipline. And over time, this simple practice rewires your mind. You begin living with more awareness, responsibility, and intentionality. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You stop reacting emotionally to every little disturbance. You begin choosing your battles wisely. You begin creating your life consciously. Also remember, writing your three priorities is not about perfection. Some days you may not finish all three, and that's okay. What matters is that you lived your day with clarity rather than confusion. What matters is that you directed your energy rather than scattered it. What matters is that you took responsibility for your time. If you practice this for the next 15 days, you will see a noticeable shift. You will feel calmer because your mind knows what needs to be done. You will feel less stressed because you no longer carry the weight of 100 tasks in your head. You will feel more productive because your focus is sharper. You will feel more fulfilled because each day has purpose. Three priorities, that's it. Simple, powerful, transformative. A practice that brings order to your mind, direction to your day, and progress to your life. And when you master your mornings, you begin to master your destiny. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotional practices a human being can cultivate, yet it is the most forgotten. Every day, we wake up and our mind immediately begins searching for what is missing, what we don't have, what didn't go right, what is stressing us. It is almost as if the mind is trained to look for problems before it looks for blessings. And because the mind begins the day in a state of lack, the entire day feels heavy, incomplete, and burdened. But imagine if, instead of beginning the day with complaints, we began it with gratitude. Imagine giving yourself just 10 precious minutes every morning to appreciate the things that are already present in your life. This simple habit can shift your entire emotional state from scarcity to abundance, from stress to peace, from frustration to fulfillment. Gratitude is not about ignoring the challenges in life. It is about remembering the blessings that still exist despite those challenges. It is about acknowledging that no matter how difficult life may seem, there is still something, in fact, many things to be thankful for. When you spend 10 minutes in gratitude every morning, you are consciously choosing the energy with which you want to live your day. You are choosing appreciation over anxiety, awareness over autopilot, and positivity over negativity. Most people think gratitude requires something big or dramatic. They wait for a major job promotion, a big achievement, or an extraordinary event to feel grateful. But gratitude is found in the simple things: the breath in your lungs, the roof over your head, the food on your table, the people who care about you, the opportunities you still have, and the strength that carried you through your hardest days. Gratitude is not something you look for in the distance. It is something you recognize in the present. It is already around you. It only needs your attention. These 10 minutes of gratitude every morning are like emotional nutrition. Just as your body needs good food to function well, your mind and heart need gratitude to function peacefully. A grateful heart experiences less stress, less comparison, and less insecurity. It experiences more satisfaction, more compassion, and more optimism. Gratitude changes your lens. It doesn't change your life instantly, but it changes how you see your life instantly. And when the lens changes, your entire experience changes. As you sit in gratitude, something beautiful begins to happen. You start noticing things you previously ignored. You begin appreciating people more deeply. You realize that some of the things you used to take for granted are actually blessings that many people pray for. You begin to understand that joy is not found in having more. It is found in appreciating what you already have. Gratitude also humbles you. It reminds you that not everything in life happened because of your strength alone. Many people helped you, supported you, encouraged you, prayed for you, believed in you, and stood by you. Gratitude opens your heart to value relationships with more sincerity. You become kinder, more patient, and more understanding because you become aware of how much life has already given you. During these 10 minutes, you may choose to reflect silently. You may choose to write. You may choose to pray. You may choose to simply feel. The method doesn't matter. What matters is the sincerity. What matters is the awareness. What matters is that for 10 minutes, you pause the rush of life and focus on the blessings of life. Even on difficult days, especially on difficult days. This gratitude practice becomes your emotional anchor. It becomes that soft whisper that reminds you things are tough but not hopeless. Challenges are present, but blessings are still surrounding you. Gratitude gives you emotional resilience. It helps you handle problems with a calmer mind. It transforms obstacles into lessons, setbacks into strength, and delays into patience. When you practice gratitude daily, you also start noticing how it uplifts your relationships. You become more expressive in appreciating others. You say, "Thank you," more often. You recognize efforts that previously went unnoticed. People around you feel valued, respected, and seen. Gratitude spreads like light. When you share it, it multiplies. Another powerful aspect of gratitude is that it breaks the cycle of comparison. The world constantly tries to tell you that you are behind, that you don't have enough, that you need to be more. Gratitude tells you the opposite. It reminds you that your journey is unique, your blessings are personal, and your path is meaningful. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you possess. And that shift alone brings more peace than any achievement ever could. 10 minutes might seem small, but the emotional transformation it creates is enormous. Within 10 minutes, your breathing slows, your heart relaxes, and your thinking becomes more positive. You start your day feeling fulfilled instead of empty. You walk into your tasks with appreciation instead of irritation. You interact with people with warmth instead of frustration. This inner shift affects everything: your work, your relationships, your decisions, your behavior, and your spiritual growth. Over 15 days of this practice, you will feel a noticeable difference. You will begin waking up with a lighter heart. You will find yourself becoming more present, more observant, more appreciative. You will complain less because your mind automatically starts searching for what is right instead of what is wrong. Gratitude becomes your mental habit, your emotional foundation, your spiritual anchor. And slowly, you will realize something profound: gratitude doesn't change your life by giving you more. It changes your life by helping you see that you already have more than enough. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into blessings and everyday life into a gift. 10 minutes, just 10, dedicated to gratitude can transform the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you live. Every one of us carries certain habits that drain our energy, disturb our peace, and slow down our growth. These habits may seem small on the surface, but their impact on our life is deep and silent. And the strange thing is, most people are not destroyed by huge, dramatic mistakes. They are held back by small, repetitive habits that they ignore for years. That is why removing just one toxic habit, not 10, not 5, just one, can create a profound shift in your life. It is not about perfection, it is about progress. And progress begins when we stop doing the things that silently sabotage us. A toxic habit does not always look evil or dangerous. Sometimes it looks harmless, comfortable, familiar. It might be procrastination. It might be overthinking. It might be late night scrolling that steals your sleep. It might be constantly saying yes when your heart wants to say no. It might be comparing your life with someone else's every day. Or it might be speaking harshly to yourself, doubting your abilities, or expecting too much too soon. These habits may not scream loudly, but they slowly weaken your mental, emotional, and physical strength. When you decide to remove just one toxic habit, you are making a very powerful statement to yourself: I deserve better. You are choosing discipline over comfort, self respect over self damage, and growth over stagnation. Removing a toxic habit is not about punishing yourself, it is about freeing yourself. It is about opening space for something healthier, something more meaningful, something that aligns with the future you want. Most people underestimate the power of removing a single bad habit. They try to change everything at once. They make long lists of things they want to improve, and within a few days, they feel overwhelmed and give up. Change is not about intensity, it is about consistency. It is about choosing one thing you can commit to, one thing you can consciously correct every day. That one correction becomes a seed. And with time, that seed grows into a completely different version of you. When you remove a toxic habit, you may face resistance from your own mind. The mind loves comfort, even if the comfort is destructive. It prefers familiarity over growth. It tells you it's okay just this once. It bargains, it argues. It tries to pull you back into the same old patterns. But in those moments, remind yourself that growth begins where comfort ends. Remind yourself that every time you resist a toxic habit, you are strengthening your inner discipline. You are shaping your future. You are becoming the person you know you can be. This process also teaches you self-awareness. To remove a toxic habit, you must first observe it. Notice when it happens. Notice why it happens. Notice what triggers it. Is it stress, boredom, fear, insecurity, social pressure? The moment you become aware, you take the first step toward transformation. Awareness is like turning on the light in a dark room. Only then can you see what needs to be changed. Letting go of a toxic habit also teaches you emotional responsibility. It makes you realize that you are not a prisoner of your habits. You are the creator of them. And if you created them, you can also recreate yourself. You can design new patterns, new behaviors, new ways of thinking. You can shape your life intentionally instead of living on autopilot. Removing one toxic habit for 15 days may not seem like much, but the emotional clarity it brings is enormous. You will feel lighter because you are no longer carrying the burden of guilt or self-disappointment. You will feel more confident because you are proving to yourself that you can change. You will feel more in control because your actions are aligned with your intentions. And slowly, this positive momentum begins to spread into other areas of your life. You may also notice that when you remove one toxic habit, other positive changes naturally follow. When you stop procrastinating, you become more productive. When you stop pointless scrolling at night, your sleep improves. When you stop comparing, your self-esteem strengthens. When you stop negative self-talk, your mindset becomes healthier. Removing one toxic habit often fixes 5 other problems without you even trying. That is the beauty of focused change. This journey also teaches you compassion for yourself. You begin to understand that growth is a process. Some days will be easy, some days will be difficult. Some days you will succeed, some days you will slip. But slipping does not mean failing. Falling does not mean you cannot rise again. What matters is that you keep coming back to your intention. You keep trying. You keep choosing growth over comfort. As days pass, you will notice something remarkable. The habit that once controlled you begins to lose its power. What once felt impossible begins to feel manageable. What once felt normal begins to feel unnecessary. And that shift is the real victory. The moment when the habit stops being your master and becomes something you have outgrown. By the end of 15 days, you will not just remove a habit, you will gain discipline, clarity, and self-respect. You will break a cycle that held you back for years. You will prove to yourself that small, consistent improvements create massive transformations, and you will experience a deeper truth that your life changes the moment you stop tolerating the things that hurt your peace. Removing one toxic habit is not just a practice, it is a promise to yourself. A promise that you will no longer live below your potential. A promise that you will protect your mind, your time, and your energy. A promise that you are willing to grow, even if it is uncomfortable. And these promises are the beginning of a new chapter. One where you are no longer a victim of your patterns, but the author of your transformation. When we talk about transforming our life, we often imagine dramatic changes. Waking up at 4 a.m., working non-stop, becoming super productive overnight. But true transformation does not happen through drastic steps. It happens through small, intentional, consistent actions that slowly reshape our character, our mindset, and our daily rhythm. This is why adding just one positive habit can create a profound shift in your life. Not 10 habits, not a long checklist, just one. Because one habit done with sincerity has more power than a dozen habits done without consistency. A positive habit is like planting a seed. On the first day, nothing big happens. On the second day, still nothing visible. But beneath the surface, changes are taking place. The roots are growing. The foundation is forming. And one day, you see a small sprout, a sign that something beautiful has begun. That is exactly how a positive habit works. It grows quietly, steadily, without noise, but its impact becomes visible in every part of your life. People often underestimate the value of simple habits. They think only massive efforts bring change. But the truth is, your life is built on your daily routines, not your occasional inspiration. What you repeatedly do shapes who you become. And when you add one positive habit, you are designing a better version of yourself, one small step at a time. The habit you choose doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as reading for 10 minutes, drinking more water, journaling, going for a walk, practicing meditation, offering a prayer, learning something new, or speaking kindly to others. What matters is not the habit itself, but the intention behind it, an intention to grow, to improve, to rise above your old patterns. When you add a positive habit, you are telling yourself, I am worthy of improvement. You are reminding yourself that your future matters. You are affirming that you have the discipline to evolve. Even if the habit seems small, it builds self-respect. Every day you show up for it, you strengthen your belief in your own capability. You feel a quiet confidence growing inside you, the confidence that you can change your life through small daily actions. At first, the mind may resist. It will say, why bother? It won't make a difference. That is the voice of comfort, the voice of old patterns, the voice of your past trying to protect itself. But remember this, the voice of comfort never leads to growth. The voice of discipline does, And when you choose discipline, even in a small habit, you begin breaking the cycle of stagnation. Adding one positive habit also helps you rebuild your relationship with time. Instead of letting time control you, you start controlling it, using it for something that nourishes your mind, body, or soul. This gives your day more structure, more meaning, and more purpose. A day with a positive habit feels different from a day without one. It feels intentional. It feels productive. It feels aligned. As days pass, the benefits begin to multiply. A small reading habit may increase your knowledge. A walking habit may improve your health. A gratitude habit may uplift your emotional state. A learning habit may open new doors. A kindness habit may make your relationships deeper and more meaningful. The habit you add becomes a small doorway that leads to a bigger transformation. Something magical also happens. When you stay consistent, your identity begins to shift. You stop seeing yourself as someone who wants to change and start seeing yourself as someone who is changing. You stop identifying with old limitations and begin identifying with new strengths. Once your identity shifts, your actions naturally follow. You no longer force yourself. You flow into the habit because it feels like a part of who you are becoming. Another beautiful outcome of adding one positive habit is that it creates a ripple effect. When one habit improves, other areas of your life begin improving without effort. If you start eating healthier, you sleep better. If you meditate, you become calmer. If you read daily, you become wiser. If you start exercising, your energy increases. One good habit brings many invisible benefits. It is like lighting a single candle in a dark room. Suddenly, the whole room becomes brighter. But remember, consistency does not mean perfection. Some days you will feel motivated, some days you won't. Some days the habit will feel easy, some days it will feel challenging. But what matters is that you don't quit. Growth is not about never falling, it is about rising again and again. You build strength not by avoiding difficulty, but by embracing it with patience and persistence. If you commit to this positive habit for 15 days, you will start feeling a subtle shift. You will feel more in control of your life. You will feel that your day has a core, a stable anchor, a moment of intentionality. You will feel proud of the small effort you put in. And slowly, this pride turns into power. The power to change, the power to improve, the power to rise beyond your past self. Adding one positive habit is not just an action, it is a message. A message to your mind that you are committed to growth. A message to your soul that you are ready for transformation. A message to your future that you are walking toward it with purpose. And when you choose to nurture this one habit with love, patience, and consistency, it becomes the foundation for a better version of you. So choose one habit, commit to it, protect it, nurture it. Not because you have to, but because your future deserves it. And in those small daily moments of progress, you will discover a powerful truth that big transformations begin with small, consistent decisions. And one positive habit, practiced sincerely, has the power to turn your life into something extraordinary.